sounding board, and tonight we're going to talk about Silly Putty, or in the Amazon women called in the film Amazon Women of the Moon, it was Silly Pate. But Silly Putty has an interesting history. It was created in the during the World War II time, which was in dates I'm not good with, but it was created in the United States as a substitute for rubber, a potential rubber substitute. And ironically, it's the first toy to be sent into space because the astronauts would use it to glue down their their equipment, not their weapons. Weapons only get done in sci-fi movies and role-playing games. But it was a polymer plastic that could bounce. And at the right heat, it could be made into a liquid, and it could be made into many little things. And at one time, when the newspaper was made out of newsprint, you could lay this on top of the newsprint and pick up the image of the comic character. Now, due to the change of inks and stuff, you can't do that like you used to. But Silly Putty wasn't always marketed in these eggs. It was actually a clear little container at first, and then some lady got the idea for it to put it into a egg and then sell them $1 each. A little piece of this little plastic for little kids. And when it first hit the market, it was a bomb. And then one of the newspapers, I think it was the New Yorker, spoke of it in an article, and all of a sudden it just sold like wildfire. And then it also got the name Silly Putty. It didn't originally have it at first. And it didn't get the name till about 1950s. But this has been around for a long time. It's actually one of those long-standing toys. It was picked up by the Crayola company as Silly Putty. They're the ones who copywritten it. And it was aired as part of Howdy Doody Show in their commercials. In 1961, Silly Putty went worldwide, becoming a hit in the Soviet Union, Europe, and like I said, it went into space in the Apollo 8 missions. And Silly Putty is also in the National Hall of Fame. But it's like one of those things that it was as a toy for people that have nervous conditions to play with, like the spinners. It doesn't stick well. It doesn't do well with clothing. It sticks to that, and dirt and stuff stick to it real easily. It's kind of like the Meetable erasers made from the stuff it feels like that artists use. Originally it was gray before it became this color. Now it's multiple colors and glow in the dark. And it can stretch a long distance without breaking. So if you want to, if you get enough of these little eggs together, you can build yourself a Mr. Fantastic. And then you can stretch all you want as a Fantastic Four figure. Technically, if this was any other item, this would have fallen off. But this is stuck to it pretty good. But how many of you had Silly Putty as a kid? Because I don't think it's very popular like it used to be. You know, at one time this was the craze. Now it's kind of sold in, at last I saw in Dollar Tree and stuff, but not in real stores anymore. I don't see it at Target and Walmart. And they used to carry this too, which is funny. Yeah, funny watching it that the egg should have fallen off, but no, the egg is still stuck to it. So did you ever have a set of Silly Putty? Did you ever play with Silly Putty? What did you think of the stuff? You can do all kinds of stuff with it. You can stick stuff to it, and it was able to hold. Let's see if we can hold Barbie in place. Since she's naked, it's easier to use this one. She twerks too. Her ankles are kind of weak. Let's try this one. She's just too heavy. There's not enough here to support it. So I don't know how this hold, unless it's zero gravity was the way that it held in place so it doesn't float away. But yeah, did you play with Silly Putty as a kid? Did you use it to slap it onto a newspaper and get like different pictures of Doonesbury Popeye or Beetle Bailey and then stretch them out and have fun playing with them on the thing like they're characters they could talk to each other, or just use it to play with, stretch it out, play with your friends, play tug of war with it, see how far you can stretch it, combine 2 or 3 eggs and build longer things, Silly Putty, and see what you can sculpt with it. I think at one time these eggs were actually filled, because this egg I found cleaning, and there's how much comes in it. At one time I think it filled the entire egg for a while, or a majority of it. But we'll stop there. So until next time, this is the sounding board, signing off.